Hello and welcome along. Today's episode is a little bit different in as much as normally I will have planned which games you're going to see on the episode. Today's a little bit different. We're going to see the first game, and I know what game that's going to be, but the second game, any of the remaining games could actually end up giving us either automatic promotion or a playoff place. So today's episode is just going to be a little bit different. And from the last screen you will have probably be aware of what game is going to come up as our second game. At this point of recording, I don't know what that game is going to be. Hello and welcome to episode 23 from the bottom up to the top. My name is Mark, and on today's episode we have games against Yeovil Town for sure, because Yeovil Town, if we have a look at the table, are right above us, 3 points above us, in fact, equal on the number of games, 41 games played. Everybody else around us has played 42, which means that this game is a 6-pointer. If we win, we move up to equal points as Yeovil Town, but we do have a superior goal difference, which means that we will overtake them into second place. And if and obviously then Yeovil can't actually gain those 3 points, so that will mean that we're equal in that sense, and then it's down to the last 4 games. And obviously we will close at the same point. We will close the gap on filed to just 6 points, and all square and level. I think that's subject to the other games that are being played, which we will have a look in a moment and see which other games are being played in this sequence. Let me see if I can do that. Yep, I can. In fact, it looks like the other teams are playing as well, so we will remain. All these teams will play another game, and we will actually still have that game in hand over filed, but we'll continue to know exactly what's what. So the ideal scenario here is we beat Yeovil and as filed lose to Hartlepool. That means that we still have a game in hand over them, and only 6 points adrift, which means that if we win that game in hand, we are then only 3 points behind them and breathing down their necks. So this is an extremely key game with regards to our season then, if you like. It's pretty much a make or break. We are guaranteed a playoff place, as you'll see. And what has happened since you were last with us? Let's have a quick look. The last games that you saw were Filed and Barrow. We drew, we won 3-0 against Darlington and 2-0 against Hartlepool. They're the games that we've played since, and as aforementioned in the intro, we're going to see the Yeovil Town game because it is extremely key to what happens next, and then we could actually, as our second game today, have any of these games, which potentially will lead to us closing the gap on filed, or as it is, end up smack bang in the playoff places. Just to go back, just to confirm, if you're not aware of the playoff scenario here in the Vanarama National League, the second and third place teams will actually get a bye in the first round of the playoffs, which means that the 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th teams play off against one another, and then they then play these second and third place teams in the semi-final, and then the winning teams from that play off in the final. So ideally, by finishing second or third, which is where we want to be, we will then actually benefit from actually playing one game less in the playoff scenario if we were to get there. Obviously, ideally, we want to see if we can close the gap on filed and possibly win the league, but obviously if we do end up in the playoffs, then, well, we are in the playoffs, but if we end up in that scenario, we want to be second or third. Right, what else has gone on transfer wise since you were last with us? I think there's been a little bit of activity. Indeed. I can see here from looking, Ryan Lloyd has come in on loan from Cambridge as backup for Jackson on the left side. He can actually play central midfield as well. Just purely because of injuries and suspensions, we were a bit short, and also gives us an opportunity to have a look at him. He's out of contract at the end of the season, so gives us a chance to have a look, and he is our 5th long-term loan of the season. And yeah, so Ryan Lloyd on that left side, he is lacking a little bit of match sharpness, so we need to get him up to match sharpness before we can actually play him. He's in from Cambridge. And Brad Young, he was on trial with us. We have actually signed him up, another striker, but looking good for next season. He is yeah, can play in various positions in this attacking third of the field, so looking good for future possibly. And we've said that many a time before. Outgoings, no more outgoings, as we know Lewis Gray is on loan with Nuneaton. So without any more to do, I think it is time. We don't want to do that really, do we? No. It is time to move through to this key game, our first game of the episode against Yeovil Town. And the games do seem to be coming thick and fast at the moment. So one of the things you'll see when we have a look at the team in a moment is that there are quite a few sort of rotational swaps in order to counteract tiredness, etc, etc. So Yeovil are favourites for this game. Very slightly. Obviously both of us are in reasonably good form at the moment. Previous meetings we've won one, and Yeovil have won one as well. The team that we're going to put out for this game then is Slicker in goal, Payne, Ram, Alangaju and Webb in defence, Goodrich at the base of midfield, Pinnington and Fuster in front of him, and then Jackson and Handich are wingers, and then Danaher in the attack. And we have Allen, Lund, Gordon, Wellens and Charman on the bench. Charman coming back from injury, so he's a little bit wary of time. Nico Gordon having a rest. Ram was rested for the last game. Alanju deputised there, and he's moved across and he's deputising for Gordon, but Gordon on the bench should we need him. And also Egan Riley. Having said that, Egan Riley looks as if he's probably the fitter of the two, and I'm tempted on that basis to bring Egan Riley on for Webb. And Webb is complaining he's not getting enough game time, but or is he the better? He is the better player actually, fullback wise. Right, we'll go with we'll give Egan Riley a bit of a rest, and we'll play Webb in that right hand position. Let's hope he steps up to the mark. That's the team that we're going to put forward. Let's hope I don't rue having changed that and put it back again. So the team talk is we're underdogs here, suits us down on the ground, let us go out and cause an upset. Huge underdogs. I'm not sure if that's the right team talk or not. We will find out. We are at home, so I do have a slight advantage from that point of view. And coming up to 20 minutes, no highlights so far. So it's a get creative. Webb with the throw to Handich, and they are on attack and score. A fairly easy thing, a first highlight of the game, and literally beaten hands down without any effort at all. Rogers unmarked and just literally pretty much chips Slicker in goal. Show some passion. Danaher's frustrated. A few players that are not playing at all well, and Josh Webb has picked up a yellow card. Half time. Makes a fairly easy team talk. Josh Webb is stressed. He's looking stressed. And there you go. The FM gods have done it, in the fact that I was thinking about Egan Raleigh and didn't bring him on. In the end, I give the game to Josh Webb, and yeah. Handich is looking tired, so maybe that wasn't, and he's not playing well at all. I'm thinking that we make a half-time change for Wellens out on this right-hand side here. Bring him on and put him in there, which I think is a good switch. And then what we'll do is we'll go back to team talk and tell, can we? Sure we can. Now I thought we could tell players the reason why they're being taken off, but it's not letting me. Okay. Then we can't. Ben Jackson now picked up a yellow card. We have another throw in. Payne to Goodridge. Goodridge back to Payne. Payne now going forward. Ball inside, but only as far as the Yeovil Town players, which doesn't bode well. But that ball is a bit wayward. Webb now looking for Danaher. Finds Danaher. Out to Wellens. Wellens crosses the ball in. Danaher. And Danaher equalises with 60 minutes on the clock. His 19th goal of the season. And we are back in it. Wellens, the supplier of the ball, and maybe that will turn out to be an inspired substitution. Let's hope so. Really need to win this. A draw isn't enough. And time to look at some more changes. Joshua Webb, nervous, really not in the game, disappointingly so. Ben Jackson having an absolute rubbish game on the left hand side as well. Maybe should have spoken to him at half time. And right, Mitchell London for Webb, because Webb just, he's, I think you just shot your bolt there, Joshua. Danaher, he's picked it up now. Half time wasn't really doing much. Now we haven't got anybody. He's on the left hand side. Handich we've taken off. There isn't really anybody else there that can play out there, so Jackson's going to have to remain on that left side. And a tactical change that can make a difference here. There isn't. I'll go with that for the minute. They have a free kick, which is bad news. And 2-1, and this could be the end of our I don't want to watch a silly replay. Fuster now with the ball, looking for Danaher, couldn't find him, and Yeovil have the ball again and on attack. Luckily Edwards John was way off target. Welland's picking up the ball to Danaher. Danaher flicks the ball forward, but again to nobody. Missed tackle there. Duffus is in and misses. Slicker stood up to him, narrowed the angles, did all the right things, and they have a corner. Oh no, don't throw in, sorry. Ball blocked, but only goes as far as the Yeovil Town player and over the top. And that's the end of that, I think. Not quite what we had expected. Fairly even game. 11 shots each, 4 on target each. They put 2 of theirs away. We only put 1 of ours away. Slightly more of the possession. Yeah. I'm not happy with the performance. I think it was disappointing, and Ben Jackson really not pleased with what I've seen from him. And that could mean a few changes, I think, for the next game, bearing in mind that that has really put pay to our season. As you will see, we've now 12 points away from Fylde, because Fylde actually beat Hartlepool 1-0, and yeah, so really where we're after now, and we're on equal points to Aldershot and Northampton now, we really need to be chasing down this 2nd or 3rd place game. So it's through to our 2nd game of the episode. I don't know what that game's going to be. You will do in just a second, and then we'll find out where we are with regards to the end of the season and the playoff positions. And we're through to the 2nd game of the episode, and it's the final game of the season. As it turns out, not a lot has become obvious since we played Yeovil, other than we have not succeeded in making any inroads. Fylde have won the Vanarama National League, and this is the final day's games that will be played. And the team that we're watching more than anything is Aldershot, and they are playing Darlington, the 4th playing 19th. That game is quite key. Realistically, all we need to do is win our game. Let's just have a quick look and see what's been going on since you were last with us. If we have a quick look at the games, you last with us against Yeovil Town, a 2-1 loss. We beat Dagenham Redbridge by a 1-0. Luke Charman a penalty after 31 minutes. Lost 1-0 to Kidderminster Harriers. And then we beat Dover Athletic by a goal to nil. Egan Riley on 27 minutes, which leaves us with this final game against Solihull Moors, who have secured a playoff place as well, currently 6th, you will see, which means that we may well face them again in the playoffs. Obviously, a little run of wins now would have done us the world of good on the basis of a little bit of momentum going into the playoffs. So a win in this final game will actually help build that momentum, and also secure our 3rd place. Let's have a quick look. This is the final game of the season, and as you'll see from the table here, this is where we are currently on 86 points, just above Aldershot on goal difference. Quite a substantial goal difference, but even so, if we lose or draw an Aldershot win, we will drop to 4th, and then we will have to play all 3 of the playoff games if we are to succeed in being promoted. Yeovil Town, as you can see, have secured that 2nd place on 90 points, 6 points behind Fylde as it currently stands. And yeah, Fylde, they are playing Barrow today, and Yeovil playing Eastleigh. So Eastleigh will, in fact, I don't think all the playoff places are sorted now. Eastleigh can't make the playoffs, so it will literally, it's just a case of how this jumbles up. Solihull Moors will remain in 6th, Northampton will remain in 5th. It is literally who finishes 3rd and who finishes 4th that really do. Both inconsistent at the moment, and we have won the only game in meetings with them. So let's have a look at the team that we have selected to play them. As you'll see, we have swapped back to our 4-1-3-2 formation. We did that a couple of games back halfway through because we just weren't really doing anything. Luke Charman, he is injured. He could actually play half an hour, but we're going to rest him so that we've got him for the playoffs. But he was injured in the last game just early in the second half, and yeah, he's missing as such. So the team that we've got is Slicker in goal, Payne, Gordon, Priestley, Egan Riley in defence, Goodrich in the base of midfield, Jackson, Pennington and Morton in that central midfield place, and Danaher and Wellens comes in place of Charman. Josh Andrews on the bench. Did toy whether I should play him, and maybe even put Wellens on the bench, and I'm not sure what to do. 6.82 Wellens is in. I'm tempted to do that actually. Let's give Jake Andrews a run out. He can't do any worse than I think we'll put Wellens on the bench. So a last minute change there. Allen, Lund, Knight, Fooster and Wellens on the bench then for this game. It's basically a win or nothing. So in order to get a bye in the first round of the playoffs, we need to win this game. And do we get that? No. Let's go with the pundits again. I don't think it's the right team talk, but really wanted to say, you know, if you want to secure this 3rd place, this is a win game. Tyler Morton picked up a yellow card almost immediately. And so has Billy Priestley. In fact, we've got a raft of yellow cards for some reason or other, and that seems to be the story of our season, is we just seem to have accumulated yellow card after yellow card after yellow card. So Priestley, Gordon, Payne and Morton all on yellows as it currently stands. And Pretty even match up to now. Aldershot are a goal to the good. Egan Riley now picked up a yellow card. And I think we need a show some passion shout. They have a free kick. And have... oh, he's offside, thankfully. I was going to say... oh, just... very fine line there. And we're not showing much metal here at all. Now Mason Goodridge has joined the others. 6. In fact, why don't you just book the whole team? Absolutely stupid. So we're currently in 4th place and gonna have to go the hard route. Aldershot winning 3-0 against Darlington, and we're not doing anything. Really hacked off with this team. I feel like putting them all on the thing and starting from scratch. All these players need to be told, I can't afford to have anybody sent off, and as you'll see, pretty much everybody else. Nobody wants to play. Nobody wants to step up to them, to the breach. And well, what can I say? First highlight that we've had, throwing Payne to Danaher. Danaher loses the ball and in trouble. Luckily that's gone wide. Dean Pennington has taken a knock. Demand more. I don't know really what to do here. Booster on for Pennington, and I'm tempted to change formation. Which we can do. Who's having the better game out of Danaher and Andrews? Danaher just. And hang on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let's go back to this one for the minute. Let's take Andrews off and bring Wellens on, and we'll give it 10 minutes like that. And if that doesn't work, then we will change formation in an effort to win this game. And they're in. Slicker equal to it. Quick ball out, but not as far as them. Andy Payne. Adam Payne rather. Danaher finding Fooster. Fooster pushes it out wide to Morton. Morton now with the cross in. Oh, and nobody wanted to take a shot there. It goes out to Jackson. Jackson puts it into touch. And yeah, there we go. Story of our day. Morton with the header, but only as far as their player. Ball comes back. And they have the attack. Right across the front of our don'ts. Egan Riley gets rid of the ball. Morton picking it up deep and loses out. Egan Riley back to Goodrich. Goodrich forward looking for Fooster. Danaher takes a shot, hits the defence, and Jackson with a weak effort. And we will now do that change as previously mentioned. And we're going to try and change to this formation. Danaher and Wellens will swap over. Let's see if that does any good. They have had the better of the game up to now. Payne with the throw in to Goodrich. Goodrich to Jackson. Jackson back to Payne. Payne forward to Danaher, who heads it to Jackson. Jackson with a cross ball looking for Egan Riley. Egan Riley to Fooster. Fooster now takes a shot, hits the defender. Fooster gets a second attempt. Jackson with the ball, and the goalkeeper makes the save. And it is a corner. Goodrich with the corner. Ball in. Doesn't meet the incoming attacker. Morton on the ball now. Morton forward looking for Jackson. Didn't find him. We have a throw in. Payne to Jackson. And we've got a penalty. And that may be our way in on this occasion. Danaher in off the post, nearly missed that as well. 20th goal of the season, and we are a goal to the good, which hopefully should put us back up into third place. 75 minutes gone. Oof. Goalkeeper went the right way. They have a throw in and score disallowed. Thankfully, Tanko was offside apparently. I think that's him there, and yep, he's, well, in fact there's a couple of players offside, but he was offside. We have another throw in. Danaher to Payne. Payne back to Danaher. Danaher looking for the cross. Nobody there, and again we don't do, and we're not defending well here. Tanko in this time and misses. Right, I think it's time to go balanced and try and eke this one out to get that third place thing. Egan Riley with the throw in, and it doesn't go our way. Tanko in again. This time he's not missed. And we are going to have to go through the playoffs all the way through. Absolutely furious. Absolutely flipping furious with the guys. And so there we are. Well, the next episode is going to be the playoff episode, and well, I really don't know what to say to them. Absolutely atrocious. Aggressively, I'm not happy with that performance out there. Hand over to assistant team talk, and we finish 4th. Better than what we'd expected, and I suppose expectations at the start of the season was such, but I mean, season preview wise, expected us to finish 17th. Northampton were expected to win. Yeah, so really we have exceeded expectations as it goes, but realistically we weren't up to it in the last sort of games. I think this is where we really lost it here, and then really never picked up the momentum after that. Good run there, but we never really picked up the momentum there enough to go very wishy-washy, all said and done. And yeah, that's where we end up. So we will come back for that playoff game, or games, as it turns out. 3 games now in the next episode, which will be the playoff episode for you all to see. I hope you enjoyed that. I didn't, but I hope you enjoyed that episode. And yeah, stay tuned to this channel. We will be back for the playoff episode, episode 24 of the From the Bottom Up to the Top. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notifications for future episodes, and we will see you on the next episode. From me, goodbye.